Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Candela and I'm a student in the last year of the English Teacher Training Program at Albino Sanchez Barros. This presentation is part of the subject Phonetics and Phonology III morning shift, taught by Professors Monica Alfonso and Facundo Miranda. Today I'm going to talk about sequences of tones, with a special focus on leading and trailing tones. But before getting into that, I would like to give you a bit of context about intonation and tone patterns, because they're basically the base of this topic. So, intonation is a combination of the change of pitch, of voice, stress, and rhythm, all put together to produce meaning. Now, let's have a look at the three main patterns of intonation. First of all, we have falling intonation. That is a pattern where your voice goes down at the end of a sentence. For example, I like pizza. I like pizza. Then we could have a rising intonation when your voice goes up at the end of a sentence. As you can see here, I think it's over that. I think it's over that. And number three, we could use a combination of a fall rising. That is when your voice falls first and then rises at the end. For example, I like pizza, but. Now, taking this into account and with a good background, we can continue with our main focus. Okay, my main focus will be on leading and trailing tones, which are two specific ways intonation works inside a sentence. Let's start with leading tones. A leading tone appears when a dependent part of a sentence comes before the main idea. Here, the dependent element has a full rise tone. In this example, the dependent element is lunch, and the main element is Mary. Let's see. After lunch, we could call her Mary. After lunch, we could call her Mary. British Airways flies there on Tuesdays. British Airways flies there on Tuesdays. Sometimes, instead of a full rise, it can be just a rise. In this case, this dependent element is called leading dependent rise. In this example, is lunch. After lunch, we could call her Mary. After lunch, we could call her Mary. It shows that the speaker hasn't finished yet. There's more information coming. Now let's talk about trailing tones. A trailing tone is the opposite. It comes after the main idea. It usually has a rising tone too, but this time it just adds some extra or supporting information. For example, I'm rather annoyed, frankly. I'm rather annoyed, frankly. We are going to Spain in August. We are going to Spain in August. So basically, leading tones prepare the listener from the main message, while trailing tones help close it in a softer, more connected way. We have typical patterns. The fall rise plus fall is for dependent and independent. Fall plus rise is for independent followed by a dependent. Okay, so to wrap up, leading and trailing tones are special intonation patterns that help organize our speech. Here we have some key ideas that we have to take into account. The first one is the leading tone comes before the main idea, and it usually has a fall rise or rising pattern that shows the sentence isn't finished yet. The second one is that the trailing tone comes after the main idea, and it often has a rising tone that connects it to what was said before. Although this might sound a bit technical, it's actually something we use all the time without even noticing. Understanding them helps us speak more clearly, fluently, and naturally in English. And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this explanation about sequences of tones, especially leading and trailing tones. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content about English phonetics and phonology. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.